pregnancy, which we didn't find out until about 6 weeks in. They never found anything on the ultrasound, and eventually, I had a lot of side pain and found out it was in the tube. So went through that whole process of getting it removed. No surgery, fortunately. It started dissolving on its own, so I think it would have been a miscarriage anyway. Yeah, but fortunately and unfortunately, after I found out why I was having such a hard time getting pregnant, or staying pregnant, I should say. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but I had hyperparathyroidism. So on the back of your thyroid, there are 4 parathyroids, and I had tumors on all 4 of them, which was throwing my hormones off and producing way too much calcium, and you would be amazed at how much too much calcium and hormones being out of whack can do.
So before you jump to any conclusions, like if you're currently having issues getting pregnant, hyperparathyroidism is a pretty rare condition.
Very rare.
It's very rare, but the symptoms are huge. I mean, they can, huge in the sense that it can be extreme, as well as huge in the sense that there are so many different ones. And Tiffany was lucky enough to experience almost all of them, sometimes all in one day. So
I'm always that 1%.
It's a scary thing. So if anyone, I guess this video is more so about awareness of hyperparathyroidism. If anyone has any doubt about their calcium levels, maybe it's worth taking a look at, worth getting tested for your parathyroid hormone, not just your thyroid. And the more we read about it, the more we realize there's really not a whole lot of link between thyroid and parathyroid. Really, the only link is the name.
The two are actually very different. So you have a thyroid problem. It's not really the same as having a parathyroid problem.
So if we didn't mention it in any of the other videos, about the symptoms that Tiffany was experiencing, and
we had no idea what it was.
We had no idea what it was, so you don't want to say. But the symptoms are, I don't know, why don't you tell them some of the symptoms that you would experience?
So they vary depending on the person, and I guess depending on how many tumors you actually have. Mine, I guess I've had it for about 10 years, because I remember it starting when I was in college, or a little bit before I went to college.
And by the way, most people die within 10 to 20 years if they do not have their parathyroid removed, their tumor on their parathyroid removed.
So fortunately, I caught mine in time before it got too bad or caused a worse result.
A big thank you to Rush Hospital, Rush University Medical Center.
Yes.
They're the only hospital out of about 10, maybe 15, 20 hospitals that we've been to in the past 10 years that has actually been able to figure this out.
Right. I went to doctors. Oh my gosh. I went to so many doctors because I thought I had a heart problem, trying to figure out what was going on with me. No doctor has been able to figure it out, and on paper, I am the healthiest person you'll see. So, considering I was active and, I was healthy, all my blood work was okay, no one thought anything was wrong. I was starting to think I had a mental problem, or maybe some psychological thing was going on. But fortunately, the doctors at Rush were able to find it, and they removed all 4 of my tumors, so now I'm only left with half. But before I go on to that, I'll tell you what I was actually feeling. So I felt extremely tired all the time. This is more of a closer, I guess, relation to parathyroid cancer. A lot of the symptoms are very similar. The only difference is all of my tumors were benign. Very tired all the time. I had memory lapse. I would talk to Jesse or his mom or anyone
nothing,
to them.
nothing, not even me. She wouldn't know who I am. She
I
wouldn't know who
he
parents are. She
was.
wouldn't know anything.
Right.
Anyone.
That's kind of scary. I'm sure you can imagine for Jesse and anyone who's around me. It's scary for me too, but I don't
And this
really
is not
remember
just,
all of it.
This is not just once in a while, folks. This happened a lot. This is
Well, it used to be once in a while.
Well,
It
it
started
used to be
scaring me towards the end of last year because then it became more of a
daily.
thing. So memory lapse, my chest would hurt so bad. It would almost feel like I was having a heart attack, or I don't know.
Almost like you were dying.
A couple of times I felt like I was gonna die. It was very painful. It was bad. It's been something I've been able to keep under the radar, and I don't know, I guess I kind of got used to it. Just it became a way of life for me, and
to be honest, not a lot of our friends and family even knew about it,
right,
because we didn't know what to call it, so we
didn't know
really
what to call it. I guess I hid it pretty well.
But it was intense, and really just thankful to Rush, thankful to God, just thank you that you were able to get through all of it, because it was tough, very tough. There were a lot of nights where it was like, is this, the last night I'm going to have with my wife, Tiffany? It was scary, and to experience that almost daily for, a period of weeks, months, and then sporadically as well, it's very scary. So if there's one takeaway from this, it's parathyroid awareness. If you guys have just a flurry of weird symptoms, you're unable to get pregnant, that's just one of the symptoms. Get it checked out. Get your parathyroid hormone
now, if I
tested.
would have thought, after thinking about all the symptoms and the things that parathyroidism causes, I guess if I knew that this existed, I would have probably been able to catch it earlier. My periods were never regular. Not saying that if you have an irregular period, you have this, because there are so many reasons why your period may be irregular. My blood work, when it came to the fertility office, was always a little off. My hormone levels, they were always a little off.
Whenever you would take hormones from the fertility doctor,
right,
they would have an intensive impact on her, and her levels would be
exactly
off the charts.
Any estrogen pill I had to take, any progesterone, anything with hormones in it that I took made it just, I reacted very, it was an odd reaction all the time. It wasn't really normal.
By the way, thank you to my mom too. I'm sorry.
I was getting yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of things that were off. My bone density, that was huge. In college, I had ankle surgery, and they told me it looked like I was getting the beginning stages of osteoporosis, which was odd, but they kind of, summed it up to, you're an athlete, you don't have your period all the time, you're going to get osteoporosis, when in fact, it was really the parathyroid. It was making my bones brittle. So even now, I will probably be taking calcium for the rest of my life now. But if that's a small price I have to pay for still being here, then so be it. But brittle bones, irregular periods, hormones always off.
Attitude? No, I'm joking.
I didn't have an attitude. I don't know. I experienced a lot of things that I don't think too many other people experience. But also, what we did read was parathyroidism causes a bunch of other organs and stuff to, mess up, and, it could eventually cause a heart problem if I would have let it go any longer. Whether those things affected me or not, I don't think so. Nothing seemed to be too off after the surgery. But it could have also caused other issues that I had, or other symptoms that other people don't have, kind of like the memory. And the only thing that would really help that was believe it or not.
Yeah.
That if I didn't have peppermints, I don't know what I would have done. So, very odd, but I wanted to, you know, make you guys aware of it because there's so little information about it. I tried to research hyperparathyroidism so many times, and I would come across the same link over and over again because there's not a lot of information about it. So I kind of just had to put it in my doctor's hands and God's hands and just hope everything would be okay. And fortunately, everything is okay. So now my hormones are balanced and all the tumors are out. I'm left with half of a parathyroid out of 4. But it seems to be working okay, and my calcium level's back to normal. Bone density is still a little off, but like I said, I'll be taking calcium probably forever now. But that's fine. I haven't had any symptoms in a while. Every once in a while, my chest will hurt or shortness of breath a little, but overall, compared to how it used to be, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I feel like a whole new person, for real. Not as tired anymore. It's great. So I would like to say thank you to Rush. I like to say thank you to my wonderful husband who has put up with this for 10 years, as long as he's known me, and he's stuck by me the entire time. So I really, really appreciate that. My parents, Jesse's parents, his mom in particular, for finding the doctor at Rush that I could, you know, that I went to and found the problem. I'm just so grateful to everyone that supported me and stuck by me and, you know, showed so much love. There's not no words to express how much that, you know, helped